We're early.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I forgot that thing up there.
Did it work yet?
I don't know. I
7
forgot it.
seconds.
I forgot it. It says excellent.
Right.
Oh, it says excellent.
High-speed internet.
We got a bunch of people in here already. Buddy Carfano, Dan
people.
Boyd, Patrick Sullivan, me, Dean
Welcome to the
Stevenson,
stream.
Mopars, Mustangs, minivans, and some other M's that he didn't list.
All the M's.
And Dean Stevenson, Tim, nice bike. Man, all I did was crack the. If you, I know you saw it because you left a comment. I just cracked that throttle open a little bit and about dumped you off that thing. I'd be afraid to open it wide open. You go like probably 50 miles an hour. That's a punchy, fast mini bike.
It goes like 40, 45 down the little side road there.
Oh, did you do that?
Oh yeah, I took it up to the
Oh yeah, up there to the store.
Yeah, the store a couple times just to shake it out, break the engine in a little bit, and it goes. It's not the fastest ever, but it's fast enough. I don't want to go any faster. It's just a mini bike.
Harry, how you doing?
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Tom Anderson, good
Welcome to
evening.
the stream. Tom, welcome. It's not giving us any
Oh, it will.
statistic updates.
It will.
yet.
The statistics said like they're slow to come and then they start working. I've
Happy
noticed that.
Saturday night, everybody. Not a lot of people streaming Saturday night. Did anybody else start streaming? You know, we were commenting, when we were deciding when to start, like there's no way to really see, like look at your list and see when people are going to start streaming without going individually and see if anybody has one set up. Kim Velocity and Turbo Del Campo show.
Timothy.
Yes. Timothy Velocity. Oh, okay. Yes.
Who's the other guy? The guy Velocity is Max Velocity. Max Velocity has a pretty good weather. When there's thunderstorms and tornadoes, man, he knows right where they are. He'll follow the tornadoes block by block. Pretty good guy. Young guy. He's been doing it since he was 17. I think he's 22 now. And really good.
Not too long till he breaks into football announcer voice though, and then I'm done.
She doesn't like listening to him. I think he's
for
really
a few minutes, and it's interesting, especially when the severe weather is coming here, but for a few minutes, and then it's overkill. He'll watch for hours.
I'll just leave it going.
Yeah, we had a good couple of days. We had some nice weather this week, and I had great success with my my Bronco 2. I yanked the motor that was in there completely out, and then dropped the other motor in, and I was very upset because I couldn't get the stupid thing to engage, and I thought I was having a problem with the torque converter. So I yanked it back out today, confirmed that the torque converter was not a problem, put the torque converter back in, spun it in, make sure it engaged, which it did, which I kind of think it was before, but dropped the engine back in and got it lined up. And so now the bell housing is mated to the motor. Yeah, so it's like it's not bolted all together. Like I still have to put torque converter bolts on and stuff like that. But like the question, will it fit in there? It absolutely does. Yeah, the heavy lifting, like I was able to move the hoist out of the way because I'm not going to need it anymore.
Oh,
what's up?
I was looking at the Studebaker and it's like really light there. I see what happened. One of our black things fell down.
Oh, it did. Did someone say something about it?
No, I happened to notice. I thought, what's that? So is that a piece of cardboard back there? I look back. No, it's nothing back there. It's just empty.
Ari says I have a horrible habit of adding to single syllable names. I work with a guy named Gus that I call Gustaffer. He's not a fan of the name, needless to say.
I think it sounds pretty good.
Mama M3 is here. Hello, everyone listening. Won't be typing much, working on another non-car project. Well, that's all right. Thanks for stopping in and listening. Hope we can add some entertainment or some, I like to put both of us kind of sleep with a background video going while we're sleeping, right? And
They're getting ads. They already got ads. I'm gonna cancel this one
yes,
because
enough
they just got them. So
and a
because
lot of times,
Ari said he just got one.
a lot of times it's relaxing. It's kind of like a parallel play kind of thing. Like we're doing our thing, you're doing your thing, but we're both doing things, and it kind of feels good not to be all alone, quiet in my head, right? Somebody else's voice is going, but I'm kind of just to do it. So you're welcome to do that. We are not offended. I've seen people tell people like, "I love sleeping while you're talking." Like that sounds like an insult, but it's actually a compliment, right? Like I don't want to
Well,
sleep
you
next to
listen to
somebody I don't like.
you listen to those games,
I do.
and the game's going and going and going, and you know what you got? You got. See, I just cleaned her all off because she was underneath the
What do
car,
I got?
right below your nose. You got more black stuff, and it's still a little there.
Well, if I keep rubbing, I'm gonna red.
See, yeah, I think you got most of it.
Ads suck, but
she
everyone
got
needs to
really,
make
she got
money.
really dirty today.
We don't really make money, but YouTube needs to make money, and it speaks well of how they view us that they're willing to run ads on our channel. Like we're not like shadow banned or anything like that, so that's good.
See, now does he get a couple points for that?
Tom Anderson. What did Ari say?
Yeah, he says Verizon commercial and Harbor Freight. He already got commercials, and now it's coming up with more commercials. That's why I canceled that out because people are already getting commercials, and now they're scheduling more commercials. So I go, just give us a break.
Ari gets 2 points. Boy, even the moderators get commercials. You get 2 points for calling out your commercials. That's something that we do here. Is we celebrate the fact that advertisers are willing to pay pennies to advertise on our channel when we're live streaming for really, really real. We're like really real live streamers, like in the real world. Like it's a thing that we do. That's pretty neat. Because, like, honestly, like, who the heck wants to?
Wow, Ari says just off work and ready for a beer. It's Saturday. What are you working? 6 days or 7 days a week or something?
38 Racing is here. Welcome to the stream. And I did not award points at the 8:30 hour. Buddy Carfano jumped in, got the 8:30 timestamp, so he's getting 3 points. Ari was next with 2 points, and Colleen was here. She gets a point, and then everybody, even the people who were already awarded points, every person who can hear my voice gets 1 point as well.
Yeah, Ari says he already mentioned it. He did last time, but he inherited a Chevy 6-cylinder. Is that an older, like a stove bolt, like you had in your truck, or is it the newer type, like the 230 or 250?
Who got a who?
Ari.
Oh.
He says I may have mentioned this already, which he did the last time he was here, but I inherited a Chevy 6-cylinder. Oh, Ari says 1 Saturday a month.
Oh, that's not too bad, I guess.
Hopefully it's overtime.
It would have to be.
Oh, it's a 230 out of a 64 C10. I'm pretty excited about it. Oh, that's the new type engine. See, that's all I'd ever. I was like in 1970, 71, when I had 72 in there. I first started working on cars. I saw a couple of 230s and 250s. And then there was a guy that I worked with, had a 60, I think it was a 62 Chevy. And he had a burnt valve. And I helped pull the head off. And it was a 235. It was a stove bolt engine. We pulled the head off. I'd never seen combustion chambers like that. They really look weird to me. But that's when I learned the difference on those engines was when I helped that guy. Sent the head in, got it fixed, put it back on. He drove it for a long time. Yeah, 230s. I like those. 230s and 250 Chevys.
I got my skid loader running today. Congratulations about your 6-cylinder engine, Ari. What are you gonna do with it? What do you tell us? What's the plans
Well,
for
he's
your
got a
6-cylinder?
slant six. It's all rebuilt. Now he's got a 230. You need to find something to put them both in there, so you have some
I
kind
thought
of
you had a car to put this. Oh,
odd,
at the same
some
time?
kind of odd couple car. Yeah,
No,
next to each
weird.
other. Look at
It would
that. It's 5 more cubic inches than a slant.
waste time and money on Kim. We I got plenty of those things
Still
around
like me
here.
a 290. What is a 292? It's like a 230. It's like a 230, right? It's not like a stove bolt, I think. I'll put the 230 in the dart.
It won't be too long,
Well,
Ari,
that's not a
before I'm
hard swap. I'd put a Pontiac Iron Duke in a dart, which is pretty easy.
since 2022. Ari's been busy. I'm sorry you're so busy. It's hard to let your projects just sit. Man,
Well, okay, it's a bigger 250. Okay, raw
Raw
dog.
Dog got a Timu ad. You get 2 points, Raw Dog. Got that just got here advertisement.
Yeah, some people get those just got here.
Pre-roll.
They got those pre-rolls. Yep,
292 is a tall deck 250.
it's a truck engine.
Hmm.
It's a inline 6-cylinder truck engine.
Okay. It's laziness inexcusable? No, work is exhausting. Mentally or physically, either way. That grind, getting up every morning, getting yourself ready, going to work.
The
Work
grind.
is,
That's what
yeah,
you do. The grind. You go over there and
grind my
you
water.
do the grind. Oh yeah, you grind. We have a
My coffee
Keurig
machine.
machine, and you turn it on. And you just heat the water. Now you turn it on. It's been getting louder over the years. It makes all this noise. And I always tell her it sounds like you're grinding your water. So now she says, "Yeah, I'm grinding my water."
Raw Dog says, I want a big Detroit. A diesel engine?
What you gonna put that in?
I don't know. Maybe it's going to become a long hauling 18-wheeler over the road driver. I don't I don't know.
I always want to be a truck driver, but it's a hassle now. It's
Truck
a lot
drivers
of rules and regulations, you know.
truck driving's hard work. Hard
Hmm.
work because it's long and it's tedious and it's you have to maintain good concentration because it can be very dangerous. You
Dean
know,
Stevenson, 1271.
we owe the truck drivers of this nation our respect and admiration because it's a hard job.
I want to paint the 230 Detroit green. Seriously though, I think it'd be a fun project and good emergency engine in case I blow up either of the 350s. Oh yeah, it'd go right in, wouldn't it? That's the nice thing about Chevrolet. It is the bell housings are the same. Man,
I was mad at Ford yesterday before I realized today that there was no problem with the torque converter and it was just me. I don't know why I couldn't get that stupid engine to go in. I had to pull it all, yank it back out, which I was like, now I have to take the engine all the way back out. It was still on the hoist. All I had to do is, lift it up. It wasn't really in anyway, so it was just like yank. And so I turned it, but then I had to crawl underneath the engine because that's safety, and pull the torque converter out of the transmission.
and that's how you got all filthy.
That's how I got.
Yeah, your back. I had a brush. And I was trying to
That
clean her
that
back
whole
off, and it's
that whole
still got some crud on her back.
that Bronco 2 is a filthy, filthy project. My fingernails are all black and yucky, and every time I touch it, I'm up to my elbows. And I wanted to pressure wash it, but it's too far from the water to run the pressure washer, and the engine's out, so I can't drive it over there. So, A4LDs and C3s are like that, Kim? How so? Difficult to get mated up? I don't know.
Tom Anderson, not sure if I got an ad or not. I had a phone call now. I'm back.
Welcome back, Tom.
Welcome back.
Oh, excuse me.
Tim says 80 today. It was warmer in Colorado than it was here. Wanted to get back on the truck. But I had to work on the yard and sprinklers, so I checked that off the list.
Good work.
How fast is the BT 200?
I didn't. You know what? I wanted to do the draggy, the little pocket speedometer thing today, and it was telling me I was blocked or so. I was like, so I didn't clock it. But I'm saying it's easily going 40, probably 45 mile an hour down our little stretch of road. And going any faster than that is scary. So I wasn't trying to make it faster, but it is torquey. Like it will spin that Baja tire in the grass, no trouble at all. It'll throw you right off.
When I rode that thing up the driveway, it just cracked the throttle open a little bit. And that's all I did. I wasn't on that thing at all.
You got to lean forward on that bike, and be gentle on how you open that throttle because it is torquey. So, and that's the motor. Not that motor, but the same motor is going in the little 100. So it's going to be quick this year. You doing a mini bike again this year? Cutter Down Garage, welcome to the stream. Just got something new, a 70 Chevy step van, all aluminum body. Oh, like one of those square step vans? Yeah.
That ought to be a fun thing.
Junk car removal, 454 swap. Whoa, wait a minute. 454
in aluminum
swap?
step van, that thing's going to be fast.
I mean,
not very aerodynamic, but
it's be a hell of a sleeper.
Good in the 8th mile.
Nil Elgago Carbonobium. I don't know what that means. Raw Dog, did you see Cletus's crew build him a big block Chevy LS in a Chevy Sonic to use as a burnout car? No, I didn't see that yet. It didn't come up in my YouTube suggestions. Usually everything Cletus does, it pops up the same day. That's weird.
Tim says tomorrow's front brakes on the wife's Beetle. Is it drum brakes or is it like a Super Beetle with discs?
Oh, I'll bet you it's a modern Beetle. Right?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
You got this, Tim.
Buddy Garfano woke up to 3 inches of snow in Massachusetts.
Oh, buddy, I'm so sorry. Tim was just telling us it was 80 today where he is. So you've got good weather coming. You got better weather coming. Tim, I know it's tough to work on other people's stuff, but, you know, once you get caught up, you'll be able to get back to the truck.
I'm 71. I'm not caught up.
We're never going to get caught up.
I'm never going to get caught up.
You know what, though? You go out and count in the yard, and a lot more things are running than last year.
Last year, yeah, it was a lot of dead stuff, and this year we got a lot of running stuff.
I got some wheels for the Dakota, which does start and run. The Dakota, off in the background when no one was looking, I got the Dakota driving.
Hendrick, long time no see. Welcome back. One Neo Yon 212.
What's his name? Who?
844.
Oh. 1 Neo Eon 212. Yes. The BT 200 is a 212, and then the Coleman 100 is going to get a 212 swap.
And they have the CVT clutch, so they're torquey and then they're fast, and the engine doesn't speed up. The bike just speeds up.
No, the 212 is not a big block Briggs & Stratton. The 212 is a Honda clone. Yeah.
Oh, dog, I'd love to see someone drop a big block engine in a little smart car, turn into a burnout. Well, you know, those things aren't real expensive, Raw Dog. Go out and get one. Start the project.
once the battery dies, they're toast. No one wants them.
But the smart car is an engine, isn't it?
Oh, is that little two-seater
It's a little
thing?
front wheels are real close to the back wheels, and you go down the road and you feel it going like
You
this.
can't put a big block in a car like that.
Hang it
There's
off,
not enough space for it.
hang it off the back.
The wheels are too small. There's no suspension in that car that's suitable to hold a big block.
Oh, he says
It's not happening.
Tim says a 2000 with this. That's not even a Beetle. That's something else. Some other kind of Volkswagen.
That's a modern Beetle.
Modern Beetle or a. It's like that thing you had, or maybe even newer than that. It's a.
No, they went back to the Beetle in the United States. The front wheel drive?
Oh, the new Beetle. Oh yeah, okay, could be.
It would have to be a 2000.
Well, it could be a.
There's no other 2000.
It could be a Passat or no, it could be.
He said Beetle.
He said Beetle, or did he say Volkswagen? I don't know.
No, he said Beetle.
Oh, okay, so it's one of those. Yeah, I kind of like those.
It's a bar word if the torque converter doesn't engage. Oh, yes, it is. It was. And I was unhappy. And I went to bed unhappy. And then today I got up, I dragged myself out of bed, and I yanked the motor back out, figured out what was wrong, stuck it back in, and got it aligned. And I am beat. I mean physically whooped from crawling underneath and trying to, and then crawling back on top, and then getting it from the left side, and then getting it from the right side, and it was, I'm exhausted. I was covered in dirt and grease up to my elbows, and blech.
Tommy Hanlon's here from Dublin, Ireland. Good evening, 2:48 in the morning there.
Ray says, Kim do that. Could be a challenge for someone. I mean, there's a challenge, and then there's just like, come on, no, don't do that. But I mean, it could make good YouTube. If you are so motivated, I'd rather do other things with my time. Mopar Mustangs and minivans says it's cold testing mini bikes for some reason. South Carolina weather has been weird this year. I understand.
Oh, here it starts warming up. You go, spring's here. No, it's summer.
Yeah.
And then the next day, oh no, it's winter.
Like the overnights are still pretty cold, and then it's about noon before it's warm enough really to start doing anything. Because you can't really work easily on a vehicle when you're layered all up with warm coats and hats and heavy gloves and stuff. You can't get anything done. I mean, you could, but we find other things to do until it's time, and then we've got a couple of hours of nice wet. And honestly, I can only work for a couple of hours anyways. That's all the stamina I have. So we just wait till the warm of the afternoon, get a little bit done. The bugs have not come out in droves yet, but it's going to be any minute. Any minute. That's why I've been like really pounding away at that Bronco 2. I want to get it.
On that one warm day, I got a pretty good sting.
You got stung by a bee, but they're not.
It wasn't a bee. It was a
wasp. Yeah.
Big old brown.
I'm sorry,
paper
the wasp got you.
But
yeah. That's like a freak sort of thing. They don't like sting you every day or nothing like that.
No, it stung me because there was a paper towel on the floor, and I was cleaning up the shop. Reached out and picked up the paper towel, and I thought something sharp was in it. Yeah, that's really sharp. And I looked down at the paper towel, and there was a wasp in it. He's stinging the shit out of my finger. It's like,
did you say hi to Tommy Hanlon?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said what time. I said what time it was in Dublin, Ireland.
I'm sorry. How did I miss that?
I don't know.
I was sitting right here.
I said it, and you were not thinking about it.
Tom Anderson says there's a company, I think, in California that takes Teslas, removes all the electronic parts, and puts an engine and transmission in them. I'm not sure what kind of engine.
You know who does that? You know who does that? Rich Rebuilds in Amesbury, Massachusetts. Rich Rebuilds has a YouTube channel, and he does all kinds of stuff. Gas-powered cars, electric cars.
Yeah, but like he did that one time. He's not a company retrofitting
No, he's done a couple of them. One of them ended up in Florida. Oh, what's the guy's name in Florida? That's I can't think of his name. I should know him because I watch him sometimes. He's Hoovie's friend, and he's Rich Rebuild's friend. Can't think of his name. Big time YouTuber in Florida.
Okay.
But he's got Rich Rebuild's one of his LS powered Tesla.
I mean, why a Tesla? I mean, I guess why any car, but see, if you put an LS in a Tesla, the suspension would be all wrong. Well, you'd have to take everything out.
Well,
It's just the body.
You know how Rich Rebuilds is. The guy is basically an engineer and builds all new components and chassis. He's just one of those guys, you know.
Yeah,
And
I guess just to say you could do it.
find glass for the Merc. Well, let's see. I found a guy selling glass, and 5 days ago, I've been sending messages to him, and he's going to go look, and he's got doors. He's going to go look, and then, you know, and a few days later, did you find yet? Well, I haven't gotten down there to look yet, and today I haven't got down there to look yet, and now I found a couple parts cars, so I may go get one of the parts cars, and then we not only have glass, but I'd have, you know, they're 302 cars, so I'd have they don't have engines in them, but they have the right cross members, so I could swap cross members out later, you know, the K-frames. So I could do a V8 swap more easily. Yeah, Tavares. Patrick Sullivan's got it right. He should get some points for that because I couldn't think of his name.
You get 2 points for knowing
Tavares.
Thank you. Raw Dog saw someone drop a 1300cc motorcycle engine in a Yamaha Raptor quad. That would rip. That would rip. As if a 700 Raptor quad doesn't go fast enough in the first place. I mean, I don't know. What? I got no use for anything like that. I need 4 wheels, but even a no. I don't want any part of that. Who's Sam Craig?
Don't know. Probably somebody that guessed Tavares, and it was Sam Craig. I don't know. It was Tavares that I was thinking of. Tavares has one of Rich Rebuild's Teslas with a LS in it, LS Chevy in it.
Dean Stevenson says it would be underloaded with an LS, but would it? Because you'd have to change out all the suspension because a Tesla has motors on the wheels.
Well, you know what Rich
Right?
Rebuilds, his last project I saw him do, he took a Dodge Charger with a Hemi, maybe the big Hemi, and they took the body all apart, pulled it off, and they put a Dodge minivan body on it. And so it's a Dodge Charger chassis with a Chrysler minivan. They're all doing burnouts with it, both back wheels and everything.
Silly.
And it's minivan.
Stray Bullets saw Buff riding the mini bike. Yep, we put out a short.
I was riding it.
That was his short for today.
And then I rode it over there somewhere and came back after that, and I said, I think that's enough of that. I'm going to hurt myself on this thing.
M3 says dealing with marketplace individuals is worth $25 an hour. They should pay. Yeah.
Bryce Cooley, don't buy the Bronco Sport. It's made in Mexico. It has 3 cylinders, and it has cheap unibody crap. Buy the regular Bronco. She has a Bronco, but it's like, 30 years old. It's made right here in Michigan. It has body on frame design.
Really? The new Bronco's body on frame. That's cool.
Oh, the one made in.
I saw
Oh, that's
one.
a bigger one, like a pickup.
Saw one just the other day. I don't know if it was in real life or it was on a video.
Stray Bullet says Tesla doesn't have motors in the wheels. No, they're somewhere. There's 2 motors or 3 motors or something? I don't even know how all that works.
I don't know how it works. It seems like all the suspension would just be wrong because those cars are really heavy. I don't know.
Well, it didn't have any battery left in it when he was
That
done.
guy that I got the wheels off of, the Mustang wheels off of, they had an original early Bronco restored. He said they do powder coating. He said the whole underside of the Bronco is powder coated. Everything is done real nice. He said only the body is patina. The rest of it's really nice.
Is this guy got a shop or something where you bought this stuff?
Yeah. There was
Okay, so now we know who does powder coating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I know where this guy is. Okay, we got ads in 10 seconds. Bryce Cooley, 3 cylinders on an SUV. What were those Ford engineers thinking? Came up with that idea.
I mean, three-cylinder engine is can make a lot of power. If you think about it now, engines make double the power for the same cubic inches as they did 50 years ago. Three-cylinder engine, you could make it make a bunch of power. 100 horsepower, and that Bronco's not a huge SUV, is it? If it's the two-wheel drive and if it's the
It's just a
sport, it's
little. It's
just a
just a
two-wheel
little.
drive.
Just a little car.
Yeah, it's
Looks
just a
like a.
car that's shaped like the nice one.
What is it? 3 cylinder. What is it? Turbocharged or something? So it has enough power to
I
move.
mean, I'm not saying buy it. Oh, see, it's the unibody version. It's like the difference between the full-size Hummer and the soccer mom Hummer.
Well, you know how many new cars we're going to buy?
No.
Zero, because we have 1960s, 1970s, and maybe a few 1980s cars. So
We could maybe afford the payment on a new vehicle, but we certainly couldn't afford the insurance and the maintenance and everything else that goes with the new vehicle. It just doesn't fit our economy. If we were working, if we were making money like, you know, younger, healthier people, maybe it would be cool to have a new Bronco.
oh, and we have one car in the 2000s, which is the Jeep Patriot. We have a Jeep Patriot, which is $1,000 winter beater that I bought, which turned out to be a lot better car than a winter beater. It didn't run when I got it because it had some racket noise up front, but it was a noisiest alternator I ever heard. But it was still alternating. It was still charging a battery, but it sounded like marbles in a blender. And then needed a power steering pump, a couple of little things. But man, that's turned out to be our daily driver. It's actually a pretty nice car. But I got it cheap, cheap, cheap. I got it like for one payment, or maybe like two payments. Uh, but I did it in one payment.
Bryce Cooley says Ford shouldn't even offer the Bronco Sport. I mean, I don't know why they would still call it a Bronco though. I guess because the name
The name. It's like
the
why would
name
they call it?
tracks really well.
Why would they call it electric car a Mustang? Because it sells.
Yeah, but I think that's the mistake. I mean, if they want to sell a little three-cylinder that's shaped like the Bronco and looks like it, but really, I think I agree with you. Like taking away from the Bronco. They're gonna soil the whole Bronco name by calling some little garbagey car a Bronco when it's not. Yeah.
One of the things here we don't like to discuss a lot of politics or politicians. I'll
That
talk
wasn't
about.
politics.
No, sit down here further. I
Oh,
talk about politicians sometimes if they're uh, something funny from way back, like President Johnson. One time, the he was at his ranch and the Secret Service was there, and he had some woman there that he's hitting on, and he jumps in a car with her and drives off. The Secret Service didn't know where he went. Sounds like something President Johnson would do. Came back. I'll tell stories like that. But as far as policy goes, no, I don't want to talk about it on here because then everybody starts arguing. I think that was a pretty funny story, though. President drives off by himself and doesn't come back for a couple hours. They don't know where he is.
M3 says that 212 Predator Ford Ranger is interesting. I do. I like that. They're cute. I've seen a couple people do them. Who did the Ford Ranger? I can't remember who it was, but I have seen it. And it just makes a motor plate, mounts it there with a CVT transmission to just turn the existing 5-speed transmission into Ford Ranger.
What's this? Danny Boyd says why cars are from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 00s. I don't think do we have any 90s cars? We have one 00 car because I bought that winter beater. Turned out to be a pretty decent car. And then everything else we have is 60s. We have 66 Dart, 70s cars. We got 72 Valiant. We got 78 Mercury. Man, you have a couple of 80s cars, don't you?
Yeah.
Your trucks, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Billy Beer. That's the kind of politics I like.
couple people got let's see, Tom Anderson got a Kubota zero-turn lawnmower commercial. Kubota, cool.
Buddy Carfano. My
That's
nephew
2 points.
my nephew pays $1,600 a month for BMW.
I'm getting advertisements.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Buddy Carfano got a Google Play Games ad. That's 2 points, buddy. That's cool. Google's advertising with us too. And so $1,600 a month car payment for a BMW. Yeah, I
See,
could buy a new car every month instead of that.
I don't think we quite had that in the Jeep, so that's like one car payment for him. And we got the car. We just drive it. Oh, Danny Boy
I
says
don't know.
my
That's
car.
the economy now. $1,600 for a car payment, no big deal.
Oh my God, my son bought a BMW. I don't know what the heck he's paying for that thing. Probably plenty.
He probably put money down on it too, though. But
Well, he had an expensive car. He traded on it, but I don't know what he got for that. He had some kind of a Infinity 500 horsepower car.
I mean,
something. I don't know what it was.
if you're making really good money and you can afford it, okay, that's you're enjoying it. You've got the dependability of a new car. It, as long as you're, I don't know. Some people make really good money and they can afford that stuff, and that's.
Yeah, but we want to work on our cars, and unless you're like Rich Rebuilds, where you take apart a new car, and of course the new cars he takes apart, he gets them. There's already something wrong with them. But
and we do got a vehicle to take if we need to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And we have different kinds of vehicles for different things. When we need to go pick up firewood, we can take the van and we can load firewood in it. We don't care that it gets kind of dirty.
This thing became my daily driver until the window broke.
For a minute.
So now it's just gotta wait to get the.
Tom Anderson's vehicles range from 1947 to 2002.
What 1947 car do you have? Wow, I have never owned a car older than.
Oh, damn.
53, I think 53 or 54, one or the other. My King Midget was either a 53 or 54. I think it was registered as one, but for some reason I thought it was the other. But so I've never had a car older than that.
Patrick Sullivan says, you can't take it with you. Right. I mean, I don't know, a new BMW is a really nice car. If you're going to do a lot of driving, or if you have clients that you have to pick up at the airport and you want to show them some, I mean.
When I worked at the airplane place, we had a Ford one-ton dually. Big old Ford one-ton dually. Great for towing trailers and really good for going to the airport picking up clients because they had a lot of room back there. Big ass truck, And that was pretty good until you needed to park it in a normal sized parking lot, and then you had to be careful. You could drive into places that you really had to struggle to get out of. So that was not good, but yeah, it's good to have one big vehicle around, I guess.
Bryce Cooley says, new trucks today cost more than a house. Well, than a house used to cost, because if you've seen the prices of houses now, they're but $140K for a Dodge truck. Where do people get their money? I don't get it. Well, there are people who are married to their jobs. They spend all their time working so that they can pay for this truck. I don't know.
See, Tom Anderson, 1947 Chevrolet Thrift Master pickup. My dad got it with the farm we live on. It hasn't run in a long time, but the engine is not stuck. It's on my list of getting it running. Well, that's pretty cool.
That is cool, Tom. I like old things. They're fun to play with. Most of these cars, we have no real aspirations to do a lot of driving in them.
I know another 70s
fun project.
The Spitfire is a 71, so there's another 70s car.
Yeah, we have the Lost Fire. It's a 2005.
Oh yeah, but that'll never run. That was burned out. The Lost Fire. It was a Crossfire that became the Lost Fire a week or two before she bought it. She bought it with a completely gutted out interior. But it had a lot of good parts on it that we needed
You
or
made
wanted.
pretty good money near the end working on them airplanes.
Uh, Tommy Hanlon, so tell us about the mini bike. It's up and running. I see. It is quite punchy. I mean, it wants to take off, just like, you know. And so I'm easy on the throttle, and it's I hardly cracked that throttle open. I was going faster than I wanted to go.
I sorted on it today for another hour and a half, getting the throttle linkage all uh, adjusted, and then after riding up and down the road a couple times, it started rattling and making noise and stuff like that. The torque converter had come loose because when I put it together, I just, you know, threw it together, and but now that it's running and it's shaking and you're like stuff's coming loose because I didn't really give it the torque. So I had to take it apart. I had to put some lock washers on some things. So it's actually becoming pretty well sorted. It's it starts pretty reliably. I think I need to take the bowl off the carburetor. It seems like it floods.
You know,
But I mean, it's getting to be a very. I get take it up and down the road and up and down the road and up and down. That's as much riding as I really want to do on it. So I don't know. It's too bumpy in the grass. It's a hardtail bike. I don't know.
it
It's a
wasn't
pretty
that
good
bad.
little
Of
bike.
course, I drove it on the driveway. It's a dirt driveway, but it's fairly smooth.
See that bike is not for our event. It's just a bike that I bought a couple years ago, and it's been sitting in the shed. And I'm like, it's gonna get ruined. The tires are gonna go flat. It's gonna put flat spots in the tires, and it's gonna seize up that little motor. So I just wanted to get it fixed up, and we were waiting on parts, and it was cold, and I was like, well, mini bike's a good thing. You could just tinker, tinker, tinker on for a little bit. So now it's like done. I don't know what else I need to do with it really. Just probably sell it. If I could sell it, I'll put the money towards one of these other projects. That'll be cool.
Great car. Honestly, the oldest car I owned was a 32 Ford three-window coupe, but I don't know if there was enough left to call it a car. Mama M cube.
Colleen says, smash the like
That's
button.
smash. I thought that was hammer. Hammer.
Okay.
Man, I don't want to
Pound, hammer.
hammer on your keyboard. Here's another story. When I was a little kid, the people next door to us, their yard was a mess, and the kid that was about my age, he was out there, and he had ropes hanging from trees and weeds growing everywhere. The yard is completely overgrown. But he called himself Tarzan. He'd swing around and from the trees, and we loved to go up there and play. And our parents didn't really want us up there. But my parents got asked to go to dinner up there one night, so I went up there and came back, and they were shaking their heads, and they said, "Man, the parents don't. The kid's completely out of control." Got up from the dinner table, and he went over to the piano. And he's playing a piano with a hammer. The parents didn't do anything about it. That's like when I saw that, I was thinking about that kid up there playing a piano with his hammer. Parents didn't care; just let him play it.
Colleen says, you look good on the mini bike.
It was
That's as much as he wanted to do with it.
it was
He was
fun.
like, yeah, I don't like it.
I got thinking about it. The last time I was on a motorcycle was probably, God, 1977, 78, somewhere in there. And it was a Honda 550 four-cylinder, and I tend to ride it too fast. Like the 35 zone, I'd look down, I'd be going 80. In California back then, there was no helmet law. So I'm not 80 in a 35 zone with no helmet on, t-shirt. It's like I knew I shouldn't be riding bikes. It was just too much fun. So I kind of stayed off them all these years until I got on this one. And I knew right away I didn't belong on that thing. That thing's fast.
No, but we did it for the camera.
But it's fast. It's kind of punchy. You start getting on it,
And
and
he
it's
didn't
like
even really open it up.
I didn't open it up at all. I cracked the throttle about some tiny amount was all. So yeah, I didn't open it up. Straight ball. I'm gonna cash in my points for the mini bike. How many points is it gonna take to get the mini bike? Money. It's gonna take points and money.
I think I probably should just put it on Marketplace and sell it. Tommy Hanlon, how did you stop the throttle behaving like an on-off switch? Okay, so I'm not. It's fine now.
You can turn
But
it a little.
I completely changed the carb and linkage setup. Right.
Oh, okay.
I had that intake manifold that like wrapped up around the side and the carburetor that was up there. I don't think there was anything wrong with the carb. I think that the problem was there was so much intake manifold volume that you just, in order to have enough velocity to keep the charge moving through the manifold, you needed to have that engine really spinning, right? So once you like got it started, you had to keep the throttle wide open, which you don't want to do.
Buff can
right?
use it as a pit bike at No Name Nationals. Now, it's the wrong bike for that. You need something that you can putt around. That thing doesn't want to putt around. It wants to haul ass.
Oh no, you could putt around.
I don't know. That was as slow as I could putt around. I felt like I was going as fast as I wanted to go on it.
Yeah, well, on asphalt, it's a lot easier to ride than in the grass. But so anyways, Tommy, the thing with the throttle was that the intake manifold was too long. So I switched back to the factory style carburetor, and it mounts directly to the side of the cylinder head, so that there's very little intake manifold volume, and then that restores all the low end torque. So it was operating as expected. Now, not everybody would like, because it's a much simpler carburetor. The it really is very touchy. Like when you crack the throttle, it just like it just wants to go right now because it's a lawnmower carburetor. Um, so the nice thing about the other carburetor I was trying to use is it was a slide carburetor for a motorcycle, and it was very, it's just a nicer kind of design, better throttle response, more precision. But it just wasn't. So different intake and carburetor design, and now it works reliably, but I don't know if it's the best. But it's really all those bikes ever had from the factory, anyways. And it's a much better linkage design, much smoother linkage than the one that Coleman put on their bikes. But then again, I spent like 6 hours worth of time fabricating a custom linkage, which eclipses the value of the bike. It's fun to ride for a few minutes.
Law again. You know your plumbing, Kim. Well, she tried to build that intake, that ram tube, but it didn't work well.
Yeah,
she built this ram tube, this big long tube with a carburetor on it and everything. I thought, man, that's gonna have a lot of low end, but
the way that I determined that is I actually took a piece of tube and I jammed it in there to fill this, like I plugged the ends of the tube and stuck it in there, a smaller tube, and to reduce the volume inside that, and it helped a lot, but it was still lousy. And I was like, yeah, that's the problem. It's just, anyways, I think I've overstated the fact. I think they understand what I'm talking about. Bryce says Michigan is getting expensive like California now. My neighbor is from Santa Monica.
See his post just before that. So I bought a really cool move-in ready 1890s commercial storefront with 2 apartments above in Grand Rapids, Michigan, back in 2017 for $40K. Now it's worth $1.2 million. Get rid of that thing. Of course, then you got some capital gains.
That's how a lot of people make a lot of money, is real estate.
And this place is more than doubled in value according to the
tax assessment.
The tax assessor. So the result is my taxes, my property taxes went up by quite a bit. But I'm not selling it. I got to live here. This is what I worked all my life for, so I got to have a place to live.
Yeah. I don't know. It's upsetting.
Oh yeah, and Tom Anderson says the same thing. Yeah, the tax. Yeah, what's the name of that website that does all the Tells you what the value of your property is.
I don't know.
Well, I'm on their email list, so they keep telling me what my house is worth. And I was watching that, not thinking much about it until I got the tax bill on it. Oh yeah, it's worth more though. Yeah, a lot of stuff went up here. The property tax went up, and the car registration went way up. They added a wheel tax. What the hell's a wheel tax? It's like quadrupled the.
It's just a scam to get more money.
Well, it
out
was
of
$22 a year for our car license, which I really like, and then it went to 104 because of the wheel tax. It's like what?
Good evening, Bale and Wire. Welcome to the stream.
Bale and Wire's old iron. How you doing?
Happy Saturday night. We are in the shop. I'm not sure why we're in the shop.
Oh, I gotta check the fire. Or you gotta check the fire. One of us.
I better check it. It
You
should be
gonna check
okay.
it? Yeah, she started
We brought the temperature up 5 degrees in here in just 45 minutes. That's pretty good.
Okay, I just got thinking about it because we
That's
haven't been
pretty
looking.
good.
We just haven't been looking at it since you started it.
Pretty warm. Oh, it's doing perfect.
Tommy Hamlin says the greatest con ever played. The false inflation of property prices almost worldwide. Yeah, what's it like in Ireland? Do you have property taxes there? I'm guessing maybe. I don't know. I don't know anything about Ireland other than I know where it is, and I assume the weather's similar to England because I spent some time in England. Middle of the summertime, and it was like 65 degrees, and everybody talking about how warm it was. I'm like, maybe it's a good thing I'm here in July. See. Yeah, things aren't worth any more money till you sell it. That's exactly right. And then if you're living in the house, you got to go buy another house. So then you're just going to spend it anyway.
Olive says it's
Is it
supposed
cool
to get
enough
pretty
there for a fire? Yeah, it's cool enough here for a fire. It was probably mid 50s during the day. It's probably a little bit cooler than that now.
Yeah,
it's
like
enough that
50 out there. You could feel the chill coming.
It's too cool to be in the shop without some kind of heat going on. Let me see what it is here.
Olive says she's glad she didn't put the heater away yet. Yeah, there's a little bit coming.
It's 49 degrees Fahrenheit here.
Yeah, it cools off quick in the shop. We get a little draft. So, and it wasn't that cold. And I didn't run sometimes I'll run the fire all day. I didn't start it until we got out here. So.
Yeah, Bale and Wire's old irons. Taxes went up here, but insurance went up even more. I'm retired. I'm on Social Security, and I think half my money every month goes to insurance. I've got car insurance on some old cars. I've got a supplemental policy for my Medicare because Medicare doesn't cover everything, so I have health insurance, and I have insurance on the property, homeowners insurance. It seems to me there's something else, but yeah, I spend more on insurance than anything else. Hey, Jay, what it's like? How you doing?
Welcome to the stream, Jay.
I was just watching something. Oh no, I didn't watch it yet. It's in the queue for when I get home. I'm trying to think of what it was that you just did, or maybe I did watch it. Jeez, Jay, I can't remember. Does that sound normal? I can't remember. Tommy Hanlon, exactly. All properties fall and rise at the same rate. And you need one to live in. Got some commercials.
Well, there are some tax advantages and allowances for your primary residence. And you don't pay capital gains if you immediately buy another property with the money that you get from the proceeds of a sale. So there's some things that do and don't
Balin Wire says low 70s here. Where's here? I don't remember where Balin Wire is.
Mm.
Well, it's like 50 degrees here today. Yeah, it's a little cooler than here, but not much. I just checked. It's 49 here right now. But yeah, yeah, I know where you are, Jay. I was asking Balin Wire. I guess nobody else knows. Yeah, so what it's like's up there in right about kind of north of the Pittsburgh area.
Buddy Carfano got a Cooper tire ad. That's 2 points. Cooper tires. Like Cooper Cabras.
Cooper Cabra. So what is that thing?
That's like some kind of
Is that what it's called?
mythical
Cooper Cabra, or it's like
the Cooper Cobra.
I don't know what it is.
But people call them the Cooper Cabras.
See Tom Anderson, another O'Reilly's.
Get 2 points. Oh, O'Reilly's Auto Parts. I didn't get an O'Reilly's ad today, but I did get a Granger ad.
You got
today.
a Granger ad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick's not. Hey, what it's like. Enjoy the channel. Yeah, he's got a good channel. You know, something I noticed about Jay on what it's like is, you know, he notices things. I really like auto design and body design and all that, especially the cars, 40s, 50s, 60s. But Jay will notice stuff I never saw before. He'll get into such detail. It's like, oh, I didn't notice that before. Or, oh, I didn't notice that before. So many times I'm watching him going over a car, and I'm surprised at what I had not noticed in the past. Harbor Freight, One-Eyed Cat. One-Eyed Cat's here. How
Hi,
you doing?
Dawn. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, Kim, I'm thinking about that car. Maybe I want that car. Maybe not. I don't know.
The parts car.
Yeah, it's one of these things that I have. It's a car like this one, but it doesn't have an engine in it, and it's a parts car. But it'd have the window in it. But then it'd have a bunch of other stuff I want too. So I don't know.
I don't know what the other stuff that you want is. Wheels, you said, but we don't know if it has good tires or not.
Vivor ad. Crashes road on a garage.
Thank you, Crash. You get 2 points.
Well, it's a V8 car, so it's got a C4 automatic. It's got the drive shaft. It's got the rear end. It's got
the cross member.
It's got the cross member. You know, the K-frame that the V8 K-frame.
Is it called a K-frame on?
I don't know. People know what I mean when you say. I always say cross member on Ford, but same thing as a. That's what so people know what it is. Tommy Hanlon, average price of a house in Dublin is now €600,000.
Average house.
That's expensive home.
Ooh, man. Spend the
One-Eyed
rest of your
Cat,
life
I've been
paying
here.
for that.
Taping off a rim and tire again.
More rims and tires.
And that's a normal house, okay? Balin Wire says Northwest Missouri. Northwest Missouri.
Wow, in Northwest Missouri, you've got 70. It's 70 degrees right now.
You got me a motel room in what looked like a nasty old motel one time I was traveling. I was so tired. Jesus,
that was a nice place.
I sounded terrible on the phone because I was so tired. She got me this old motel. And I went up there and I saw it. I went, all right. I went in there, and it was a guy he was a biker, and they had Harleys sitting out front. And this guy was a guy that he was a retired Army, and he had redone everything in that old motel. Everything in there was brand new. It was nice. Didn't smell like an old motel inside at all. So thank you for getting me that room that night, Kim. I needed some sleep and a shower and everything. It was really good. But that was in Northwest Missouri. That's my last remembrance of Northwest Missouri. I can't remember the town that was in. I'd know if I heard it.
15,000 1 year in property taxes. That's.
Oh, where's this? Tom Anderson, property taxes.
It's like you're buying the property again.
That's terrible.
Oh, wow. Don't even get me started. That's unbelievable. That's unreal. How is anybody supposed to?
Taxing something you already own. I don't know. I don't want to get into too many politics here, so
It's
we'll just
upsetting.
just.
Wow.
It's one of the reasons I moved to Tennessee. Property taxes weren't so high. They raised them, but compared to that, they're still not so high. Illinois says low 50s now, 70s during the day. Yeah, it's how it got warm last week, but it was what, probably mid 50s today, and it's like 49 right now. What it's like, I paid 2,500 on 3/4 acre. I was upset to have a weird living situation. I live on 7.5 acres with my mom and my grandma. We all have houses. It's all subdivided. And you have a shop there too. I don't know if your shop's like a garage or another room in the house or what, but I know you do that. You do some woodwork in there. Patrick Sullivan, I read that is 5K at first, which I thought, hell, that's not bad, but 15K, hell no. Yeah, mine is, I don't know, it's about 1,500, which is a lot more than what it was when I moved in here, but 1,500 compared to, I grew up in California. Can't afford that. You take out a loan for your taxes.
Papa
Papa G.
Julius here. Welcome to the stream. Oh, I don't want to talk about taxes. It's upsetting. Oh, I feel sick. I feel physically ill
What it's like,
looking at those numbers.
my house, the property ratio isn't great, and that's why mine are high. My dad always joked and said, the last man standing gets it all, but there's no way I could afford it all. It's like 10 grand for all of it. Yeah. Yeah, when you got to leave because the taxes are too high. That's why she has a Ford van and I have a Ford van. If we have to, that's where we go. Live in a van. That's what I was afraid was going to happen.
Down by the river.
That's what I was
in a van down by the river.
That's what I was afraid of when I retired. I was going to end up in my van. But I'm here. And so far,
Kevin's been here long.
I can afford it. Barely afford it, but I'm here. Day after day. Good evening. Been paying 31 years property taxes on same piece of property. Yeah, at some point it should be paid off, shouldn't it? Hey, I paid off my property taxes.
Well, okay, so what we know property taxes goes to the schools generally as the priority, and then roads, and then municipal services and stuff like that. I get it. I understand. It goes to real things. And we should all have a say in those things, and we should be involved in our local government. Like, we should be going to at least one meeting a year for the municipal, like, they have public meetings and stuff like that. We should be keeping track of what's going on, and we should, vote in our local elections to make sure that we know who's running things, and make sure that they're doing it right. Like, we should all be checking in. We should be doing good stewardship, is not just expecting somebody else to take care of everything. Um, and if we don't want to do any of that, then it's none of our business what the taxes are. We just have to pay it. But, like, I think we should all be, keeping track of what's going on in our local government, in our school systems, and stuff like that. And not like in a negative way. Like, they have expenses, and they have, as long as they're using the money properly, and they usually, though, they have an annual budget, and they have to make that stuff public record. So it used to be that the local newspapers and stuff like that would, you know, let you know what's going on.
What's a local newspaper?
There is none anymore. No one's watching. Is anybody watching anymore? And now everything doubles. How do they double taxes? That's crazy. The price of things don't double in a year. So how do they just double tax? And they're like, well, we have a deficit now, and so now we have to double it to catch up. And so, where's all the money going?
Retired Inspector Bruce is here. Hello. Just got here from visiting friends on the ranch in Marin County. What's this? Bryce Cooley. I believe that my my neighbor from Santa Monica was paying $32,000 in property taxes per year for a nice condo. I told him, "Don't bring your comments voting habits with you." Dean Stevens, what it's like. Okay, yep. What it's like. It's got a pretty good channel. Uh, Kevin Smith, 41 years here. I'm done with taxes. I wish. Yeah, I think it should be that way. You should be able to pay them off. Like I've been here 41 years. It's paid off now. Uh, Kevin Smith ain't got no dang kids. Well, the way I look at it, I know what that wheel tax is. That's what pays for our schools here, and so it's somewhat accountable.
Well, then why did our taxes go up? Why did the property taxes
Oh,
go
I don't
up
know
if
what
they added a wheel tax?
I don't know what they use the property tax.
They're stealing the money.
Okay, so let's see here. Yep, Jay's show is great. Yep.
Well, I already did kind of talk about it. I worked on my Bronco 2, and we worked on the mini bike today, and it worked out good. I got the motor into the Bronco 2, and it is bolted down to the mounts, and the transmission and engine are mated together, and the torque converter is aligned up properly. So I still have a lot of bolts to put in and wiring and fuel system to get going, but like the heavy labor of maneuvering the engine around is done.
Tim says I keep waiting to get a property tax bill on my cemetery plot. What happens when you start living in that someday? You get a tax bill? A tax bill to the dead? That'd be pretty funny. Oh. I'm sorry. Got like itchy throat stuff. Is that the thing you pay property tax on your cemetery lot? I don't have one yet. We technically do. Can we just bury ourselves out here on the property? Oh, Dean Stevens, I'm the slowest responder. I get this huge stuff 4 hours late because I'm always on the road. CDL hazmat, delivery of batteries, bikes, brown box goods. Yeah, lottery is supposed to pay for schools. I remember that. I was really happy when in California we got the lottery back when they approved that, and I thought, good, voluntary taxation. That's going to pay for stuff. But right away they were out of money. they had the taxes they had before, and the lottery, and they were out of money. It's like what? Yeah, what end did you put in the Bronco, Kim?
I got a Ranger with a 2.9 engine in, and it had a bad transmission, but the engine ran. So we pulled that out last summer. That was it. We did that on a live stream. We pulled that Ranger all apart.
We took the whole thing apart.
So
took the cab off.
Sitting,
took the bed
we've
off.
Been doing other things till the weather warmed up. Now I got the 2.9, but the 2.9 is a fuel injected engine. And I am not putting a computer and fuel injection in the Bronco, so I have to convert the fuel injected engine. What's Tony call it? Divert or
I don't remember. He had a name for that. It's like when you put the carburetor on that other car you have.
So I got to put a carburetor on it, and set it up with the simplest ignition system I can make work on it. And that will probably be a little YouTube video that I'll be doing here in the future. But see, the thing of it is that is like light hobby kind of work. putting the engine in was just exhausting, heavy, difficult stuff. So I'm just so glad to be done with that. I've been sleeping at night like I'm dead under a pile of rocks. I've been so tired. I slept the whole day. I was so tired. Oh,
Kevin Smith. I told my wife to put my ashes in an Etch-a-Sketch so the grandkids could play with me.
I gotta check the fireplace.
Is that what's in an Etch-a-Sketch? Ashes?
No.
Whose ashes are in this one?
I bet you that would be.
Yeah, I got this. I got 2 Etch-a-Sketches. I don't remember whose ashes are in this one.
We gotta have a picture of them on the backs.
Oh, did everybody hear the saw?
Okay,
Here in PA, gas tax is 75 cents a gallon. And tax for road repair, and the roads are still shit.
well, the roads
They
in
tar,
PA.
they tar and chip main routes. Where I am, only the best for PA. You know, the worst roads I was ever on, like the whole town had terrible roads, was in Sharon, Pennsylvania, which is the same area as you're in, that western Pennsylvania area. I remember all the locals there said Sharon, Pennsylvania was the chuckhole capital of the world, but most of the places I drove around western Pennsylvania were just about the same.
The roads in Pennsylvania have a major disadvantage in that there's so many freezing and thawing cycles and so much moisture that it's really difficult to maintain roads in that situation.
Jay says gas is like 369 to 380 there. Wow. Yeah, it's a, it's a,
More.
it's a good dollar less here right now.
Not 251. I got it at Walmart.
Okay, so it is $1.10 to $1.20 less here than in Western PA. Kevin Smith says it's aluminum dust or graphite. Well, I'm disappointed it isn't ashes. Saying Ohio's roads are better is a huge insult to the other state. I lived in Ohio all my life. Our roads suck. You know, here in Tennessee, I think our roads are pretty good. You have any complaints about the roads here, Kim? Occasionally there's a hole or something because of winter, but I don't think it's too bad.
Generally, the roads in our county are really good.
Yeah, they're good. Oh, Kevin Smith says the orange barrel is Ohio's new state flower. Hey, I drove through Ohio not long ago, and something I noticed they changed was all the road maintenance vehicles. Instead of having amber lights on them, they got a combination of amber and green. I had never seen green flashing lights on top of vehicles before. Stray bullet. A lot of the roads in town I live are diet roads. One neon DDR5 RAM would be nice on my Asus 570 Pro XD. Is it Asus or Asus? Asus. I always like Asus, but I think it's Asus. Kevin Smith, Ohio road sucks. Danny Boyd says Ohio should just give up on paved roads. That's what I used to say about Ohio when I moved to Ohio from Arizona, and I was used to nice, big, wide roads, paved. Everything was beautiful, parking lots and everything. And when I moved to Ohio, what I noticed was every parking lot was made out of mud until it snowed, and then it was made out of ice. And then spring came around, and it was every place I parked was mud up to my ankles. It's like, oh my god, how do people live like this? Stray Bullet says 469 here in Northern California. What it's like, at least they fix the roads with quality materials here in Pennsylvania. They just tar and chip it, fill it with sand or fill it with whatever they can to find that's cheap. Bryce Cooley says, Michigan roads are bad. Hold my beer. Danny Boy. Okay, you're going over some computer stuff. Stray Bullet, you near Santa Rosa? Kevin Smith, Michigan has to be the worst. The only place I've ever been in Michigan is right along the southern border where they have a lot of trailer manufacturers. I've gone up there and picked up trailers before. So I've only been into Michigan as far as maybe a few miles. Someday I'd like to go up the UP, just see the place. Danny Boyd, Ohio has a lot of traffic and fairly hard winters. Yep, they do. Buddy Carr found any truth that aviation fuel gives you more power? It does. Aviation fuel, the thing with aviation fuel is it doesn't evaporate as easily because at high altitude it would evaporate very quickly. And so their additives are to keep that from happening. And then it's got quite a bit of lead in it. If we're talking about gasoline, quite a bit of lead in it. So, and the octanes, 100 octane. So I guess you could change your timing a bit to get more power, maybe, but race gasoline's probably better for that. Bro, Goulette, I'm waiting for Jay Leno's AB bill has been passed by a late 70s, early 80s car in California. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how Jay Leno does that thing goes. Stray Bullet, about 50 miles north of Santa Rosa, Tim. Tommy Hanlon, we're about 1.9 euro per liter of petrol there. Oh man, so it's like 3.8 times that. And euro and dollar aren't too far apart, so 3.8 times that per gallon. Crap. Okay, we're coming up on ads in 5 seconds. Got ads. Was this the people who say Ohio roads suck? Has a sinkhole swallowed a Port Authority city bus? That happened in Pittsburgh. True story. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. When was that, Kim?
Oh, a couple times.
A couple of times.
Yeah, it's a funny picture. I mean, literally, the whole city block collapsed in. The bus was sticking out like a. Wow. Yeah, it's bad. Pretty bad. Bad stuff. I'll show you.
One neon says 93 is roughly 330 here in South Carolina. Yeah, and I don't know what 93 is because I don't have anything that needs it.
I think it's a whole dollar more.
Is a dollar more.
So it's like $3.50.
Kim's over there hammering.
Sorry for the hammer.
Man, you're noisy. Jay says, I refuse to take the Pennsylvania Turnpike. It's highway robbery. Don't know what you're getting charged. One thing I do like about the Pennsylvania Turnpike, if you don't have any money and you pull in there, they have a printout that tells you how to avoid it and how to take other roads. Because one time I did, what was the deal? I had a credit card or something. They wouldn't take it. They wanted cash, I think. Or maybe it's a credit card and I had cash. I don't know what it was. But she just had a printout. She goes, where are you going? She takes this printout. She goes, that's how you get there. And I took some other roads and bypassed the whole thing. But they have that printed out for you. I thought that was pretty good. Yeah, you might squeak a few more ponies if your engine is tuned for the higher octane. Yeah, that's basically what I meant. Although I didn't state it as well. What are you doing? Oh, man. Kim's over there splitting wood. I can't talk over it. It's too loud. Danny Boyd says, I'm sorry, I skipped a bunch of them here because I couldn't talk over the hammering, and so I missed a bunch. I went and checked on my truck and my Fox body out in the country, and the truck had a flat, but the tarp stayed on my Mustang. We've had some high winds lately. Wow. Yeah, tarp will ruin a stored car. I learned that. Yeah, it traps all the moisture in. It's better under a roof. Kevin Smith, Granger adds 2 points. Bruce, retired Inspector Bruce, another Miller arc welder ad. You must be looking at welders, man. So that's 2 points. Google the sinkhole in Seattle in the late 50s. It was a monster. Yeah, it's like the Corvette Museum. That's a pretty interesting one because they left it there and they steel structured it and concreted over it, and they got windows there and it's all lit up down in the sinkhole, and up above it's all painted on the ground where the sinkhole is, so you know when you're walking over it, and you can look down in there through a window and you can see the inside of the sinkhole. It's kind of interesting. Dean Stevenson, the Property Academy podcast, TSB Bank, no cash down, building ownership advertising. I guess that's an ad. That would be 2 points. Does Park Car have a speedometer you want? No, it does not. It has the same speedometer I have. The speedometer I want, there's 2 speedometers that I wouldn't mind having. The police speedometer for the Fairmont, it goes up to a higher number, but it's graduated in fives again, like 5, 15, 25, 35, 45. I really dislike that. It's so easy to make a mistake. Some government fool required that for a few years, and it's so easy to make a 5-mile-an-hour mistake with that. And then the Mexican one's the one I really want because it's in kilometers and it's even numbers on both scales. So I could just put it in and use it. And it doesn't stop at 85. It goes up to like, I don't know, 200 kilometers or something. The sinkhole was on a steep hill. The cars couldn't stop in time. Oh, geez. It's like the earthquake in 89 on the Bay Bridge going across San Francisco Bay. People just fell into it. Danny Boyd, this is a convertible with not much top lift and a Rust-Oleum paint job. It'll be fine. Tommy Hanlon, are you up to 20% ethanol? No, we're at 10% is the max, although sometimes I'm not sure what it is, but 10% maximum, unless you buy E85, which is then 85%. And there's another one that I see in some stations that's 15%, but it says not to use it unless your car is, I forget what age, because it'll sense it and adjust for it. And then there's guys like, what's his name, the sweaty fat guy that's in a lot of, and that's his name. He makes his own ethanol, so he runs 100% ethanol. It's not a Ponzi scheme. New Zealanders are buying houses like Germans do, apartments. Kevin Smith, yep, Rust-Oleum will save it. Dean Stevenson, poor 15. I had a friend do his whole Dodge Dart underneath. We rebuilt the whole front end. Everything was 415, black 415. And that came out so good.
Be right back.
All right, Kim's going to be back. They were too cheap to fix the sinkhole. What, in the Corvette Museum? Actually, I think they did a heck of a good job because they put a steel structure there and never sink again. And then put the floor in and everything, and then you could see it all. After the top had its worst fail, when I went there and saw that had happened, I looked in the car and there was a gray tabby cat sleeping on one of my front seats. Dean Stevenson, porous rock or other material having minute spaces or holes through which good air may pass, layers of porous limestones. Hippie Long. Hey, Hippie Long. Doing a comedy showboat right tonight. We'll miss you. Have a good show. Hey, thanks. And you know what I was eating earlier? Pistachios from Hippie Long. Pretty cool. Thank you. Hippie Long comedy show. Matt Rife tonight. Dean Stevens. It sounds awesome, this Hippie Long. Kevin Smith must be a Ford wrench, which is a hammer. Let's see. Kevin Smith fragilely. I don't know what some of this. I don't know what they're talking about. Gaseous gas. Danny Boyd, I want to maybe buy some tags and insurance to bring that Fox body home and do it up like I done my truck. I do have a new top for it. Kevin Smith, port 15 works great. Ooh, what was that? Ding, something dinged here. Kevin Smith, port 20 is gray. Oh, there's a 20. Hippie Long, 6-minute till opener. Okay, take care, man.
Wait, what's the opener?
He's going to do a comedy show, and so he's on his way to work.
Oh,
okay. I'm sorry.
Nice. Matt Rife.
Kevin Smith, port 20 is white. Okay, so they have different numbers. Didn't know that.
Port 10 is white.
Yeah, and port 20 is gray. Port 15 is black. The port 15 is the only one I've used. You know what port 15 is?
Yeah.
Paint over rust. Paint over rust. Yeah, it's a rust converter, like that stuff you have. Only it's.
I don't think it's rust converter. I think it's just.
It does something to stop it. I don't know.
Rusty metal primer.
Seeing my truck for the first time since October. It looked good. A few spots where my new paint is coming up for a few reasons, but it looks pretty dang good.
Nice, Danny.
Yeah, I hear that you don't want to put 415 in sunlight. You need to paint over it. That's right. It's UV will hurt it. So what we did on that Dodge Dart was he rebuilt the front end, had everything apart, control arms, everything, cleaned it all up, sandblasted everything, 415'd everything. But he goes, he wasn't really worried about it because it was underneath the car. So he didn't think a lot of, yeah, buddy, I screwed that up.
He was really mad at himself.
I couldn't believe I did that. A Ford branch, like a Ford Pro. Tommy Hanlon, time for tea. Yeah, paint over rust, POR. Yep. I like that rust converter you have. That stuff worked really well.
Yeah, I don't know. You said there was some spots coming through on that.
Well, I don't know why it came through. I'm not sure it came through if something got on it. I don't know what happened there. Ford wrench is a hammer. So how's the fire?
I put more wood in there. I mean, at 45 minutes, it burned through a lot of the smaller stuff, and it was starting to die down. So I had to
Oh,
add more, which I
mower,
did. Chevy wrench is a cinder block.
cinder block.
That's perhaps.
I saw guys in Russia take their lot and just tip it on its side in the snow, and they stand there and work on the bottom of the car and then tip it back on its wheels again.
Nice.
Instead of using a cinder block or wood, just, just lay it on its side and work on it. Oh my God.
Speaking of working on it, aren't we supposed to do work when we're in the shop?
Yeah, we're supposed to do work in the shop. What do you want to do? Yeah, I know. Now you're going to like, hey, get to work.
I don't know. I wore myself out today.
Yeah, I should clean some of the rust off first, though. Yeah, so we just sand, wire wheel everything the best we can, and then put the rust converter on it. Because yeah, you don't really want to put it on flakes of rust and stuff.
Yes, Dean. T.
Chai. Every language except English, I think, is chai. Has anybody ever noticed that? Every language, it's chai, except English, it's tea. I think. I'm not sure. I mean, that's quite a statement. What's Moa? Anyway, my dumb 19-year-old has crawled under my 77 Vista Cruiser with just a cinder block propping up the frame, lifted it with a bumper jack. DD Speed hasn't done a live lately. Hmm.
Nah.
I
No,
haven't
that's
been.
right. They haven't, but they've been putting out videos every day. Maybe they don't do as well on lives. They're just as happy to
Their
do.
lives used to be kind of long, like ours, kind of long.
Yeah, I miss those. I'm sorry, Kevin. But they're still working, constantly working.
Man, you had a 77 Vista Cruise. 77. Oh, that's not the one with the top. That's not the one with the glass top, is it? No, the Vista Cruises was with the tops were like 66, 78, 9, 70, maybe 72. Kimberly likes those. Well, so do I, but I mean, she really likes them.
Danny is funny, both of them. Yeah, they have a good banter between them. I do enjoy. I've noticed that I when I'm watching the videos, the part that I enjoy the most is when they're like, yeah, bantering.
Hi, Danny's boyfriend, Steve Edwards. I did a live last night. Man, I missed that. Danny Boyd, I was an 11-year-old. It was an 11-year-old car and wore out piece of shit. Yeah, that's a problem with Ohio and Pennsylvania and that whole area of the world. Cars turn to crap pretty easily. Patrick Sullivan, DD Speed Shop vids are basically live in the can 4 hours before going live.
No, D speech. They do fast forward stuff. They cut out. They cut a lot of stuff, but it's not live. It's like the it's candid. It's candid. So, but it's not. They do a lot of cuts between like he talks a little bit and then he does a little bit of work and then they'll cut and then he'll talk and he does a little work and then they'll cut. It's simple editing, but they don't make you.
Oh,
Oh, what's the camera doing?
we're going max headroom.
Man,
Do we have to cool it? I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Probably. Yeah. All right, guys, I gotta blow on the camera.
Oh yeah, camera's going crazy.
I don't know why the heat builds up and then it acts funny.
Blowing the heat out of the camera. Maybe that's it.
I didn't mean it as an insult. They just released so many. Oh, I didn't think you were insulting them. Just uh, like there are people who do that live. Like Bad Chad, they don't edit. They do an hour. Of you know, they will cut sometimes, but Bad Chad just does a continuous hour, fully candid.
The only time I've seen him cut is if he goes to the bathroom
Yeah,
and he's gone for some minutes. She'll cut. But otherwise, if he makes a mistake, he rolls with it and he goes through how to fix a mistake. I've seen him struggle with that. I'm just amazed that the guy does that, and I think that's a good thing because that's how shops really are. It's you screw things up. Even when you know what you're doing, you screw things up. It happens. Danny Boyd says Vista roof, 64 through 72 on Oldsmobiles and on the Buick Sport Wagon. Yeah, I really like those. And the first few years had a little divider in the middle, and then the window went all the way across with no divider in the later models. Steve Edwards, I just finished a T-Berry T-Command. Everything works. Unstuck the meter and put new LED lights in. So those things work well when you put LED lights in. Cause see, like cars, you gotta make other changes when you put an LED light in. Or like flashers don't flash at the right rate, or they don't flash at all. That reminds me, I've got to order a flasher for this. Well, you know what happened when the window broke? I just quit ordering everything else. So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't order a flasher for it. I should wait till I get my whatever I'm going to do for parts. Danny Boyd, I think the Vista roof was an ode to the old classic Cena Cruiser rayon buses.
mm,
What's this, Danny Boyd? ARGB LEDs for the win? Not sure. What's ARGB?
well, RGB is red, green, blue, but A would be.
I don't know. My this car right here, I put orange incandescent lights in the dash because I don't like that bluish green color at all. And
Addressable.
the reason I did not use LEDs because I couldn't find any that size that were dimmable. And I know I'm going to want to dim them down when I'm going down a highway. So I put incandescents in there, and it looks pretty good because they're not that greenish blue color that I strongly dislike. See, green and blue, that's especially blue, that's rough on the eyes. It might look cool, but it's like in an airplane, you never see that. You got old tight gauges that always lit up red because it's easy on the eyes and doesn't destroy your vision when you look out the window. And then when I was driving Pontiacs around, and I see the BMWs, but I was driving the Pontiacs, so this big round dials and they're lit up red, reddish orange color. Man, those are nice. But I don't know. Now it's old. So young people don't like it. But
Andrew Button, welcome to the stream. Does the Studebaker have LEDs?
oh,
Are those LEDs?
those are LEDs.
Those are LEDs, yeah. We got some LEDs. Got a pile of them. We use those for the flashers. Does anybody know what Dr. Art's big announcement was today?
No, I didn't pay
I
attention to it.
don't. I didn't know he had a big announcement.
Seriously, what is the advantage of an LED in vehicles? The expense outweighs any advantage in clothes. Well, what I like, especially with older vehicles, I paint all the reflectors white, the brightest white I can find, because that reflects the most light. And then if you use LEDs, they're brighter, and they also come on and off much more abruptly, and it looks like the new cars. So when I'm going down the road in an old car and I turn on the turn signals, it's not like like an old car. It's like toot 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 toot. People see that, and I want to be seen, and that's the only reason I do it, because there's a lot of new cars out there, and that's what people expect to see. And
Struble
so
says
that's
it
why I
was
do it.
supposed to make national headlines. Really? Does anybody know what was Dr. Art's announcement today?
I don't know.
Um,
I could call him on the phone and go, hey, what's your, what, we're in the middle of a live and everybody's asking about you.
I like the LEDs because I, for me, I'm using them in like a full replacement setup, right? Like some of the sockets on some of these vehicles, they're whooped, right? They're messed up, or the light housing is messed up. It's garbage, right? So I have to put it. So I just lop off the wires, and the LEDs come pre-wired, and you just put it on there, and then there you go, you're done. And
What
it's a nice bright light, and they're really durable. Like they can take an impact, and they rarely go out. Short of crushing it, it's good. So
what I
whereas the glass bulbs are like, I don't know.
what I don't like about LED, like LED headlights, I like them if they're a good design reflector and a good design lens, but these LEDs is just blast light forward with no way of controlling the cutoff point, or those things are horrible. They blind everybody coming down the road. But you get a good one that's got a good cutoff where you can adjust it, and so the cutoff's out like 100 to 125 feet in front of you. It's not. It gives you real good light, and it's not blinding anybody. Yeah, I like those too. But that's tougher to find unless you got a newer car.
Dr. Art is invading Iran? No, he isn't.
Okay, so we got ads in 6 seconds.
More ads?
Well, we've
What do they
been
do?
here.
Put them in there every 10 minutes?
They're 24 minutes.
Man, TV is
Uh-huh.
hard luck. Tell him. Ad break, everyone.
So they're probably clicking out of them by now.
Some of them aren't skippable now,
Some of them aren't skippable. Huh?
but they're only about 10 seconds long. When
See,
I'm watching Twitch, the video game people, when I get an ad, sometimes it's like 45 seconds of ad and they're
really?
not skippable.
See, TV ads are nothing like this, because a TV ad, none of them are skippable. And when I was like in a hotel, it's like either 3 minutes or 4 minutes of program and then 3 minutes of commercials. That's crazy. I can't live like that. Like 3 minutes of TV and
No.
3 minutes of commercials, 3 minutes of TV. This, at least, you can click out of most of them. It's every 24 minutes. It's okay.
Colleen says got a Harbor Freight
Harbor
ad.
Freight.
I got Harbor Freight ad today too. You get 2 points, Colleen. Sure, you've good reason in that application, but newer cars, it's just trend and more expensive for the consumer to maintain.
Well, I think it just because it uses less power and it works well on a canvas.
Tommy, they could make cheap LED systems for the new cars. The part about it that makes them more expensive is they got to do this fancy non-unitized thing where you buy the entire light assembly instead of just a bulb.
Oh
So
yeah,
in
the
that sense,
$5,000 taillight on a
yeah,
Ford
like
truck.
why
Yeah.
can't it just be a housing with a bulb that sticks in and then a replaceable LED bulb? It's a cheap thing, right? They could make it that way. They choose not to. That's what it comes down to. Is they choose to make a fancy design that's not unitized construction because they want you to have to go to the dealer to buy a replacement, and because the automobile manufacturers have been doing that for a long time. Is they want to make a bunch of money in the parts division.
Let's see here. Stray Bullets, Sork. Oh, that's probably spark plugs and LG.
Stray Bullet, get 2 points.
And
What
then,
kind of spark plugs? You're supposed to give us brand names.
and then
Amsoil ad from Buddy Carafano. Okay. Yeah, your point is well taken, Tommy Hanlon, that they don't need to make it like they do, but they choose to, just like they stopped using universal type headlights in favor of
well, the
fancy.
composite headlights, I think they came out really good, but you got to maintain them. You know, you got a good cutoff. You know what I mean by a cutoff? They go out so far in the road, they're just end. You know, so they're not blinding everybody. That's pretty nice. Uh, and they spread the light nicely. You know, but that's a good designed headlight. But there's poorly designed headlights that scatter light all over the place and blind people. And then the LEDs, the headlights that just have the little LEDs facing forward and no lens and no reflector, those things they just blind everybody. They're horrible. Like those ones you have on that car you're working on.
Oh,
The,
that has a whole bunch of little uh, reflectors.
oh yeah, but they're just LEDs. I mean, they're not a nicely designed thing with a cutoff. That's fine driving around here on the property. It'll just light up real well, but you don't want to take that down the road because people will be like, it's terrible, you know.
Stray Bullet says they only care about the cost of manufacturing. Once it breaks, it's your problem. Well, yeah, no, it's even more than that though. Once it breaks, it's your problem because they have a network in place where they're gonna charge you an arm and a leg for the part, and it costs a lot of money to have their shop make the repair. Like, like where they put the water pump inside the freaking engine, where it's way more work to replace than a water pump ever used to be. And the same with lights. And what was South Main Auto was talking about replacing something with a light, and then now you have to have some electronic thing realigned
I don't
to
know.
change a headlight, and the whole thing's like $500 to change a headlight. It's like, that's insanity.
Because he had to take so much stuff apart.
It's insane.
But he found a way to get it in there with taking less stuff apart.
I swear they're trying to make it harder and more expensive for you to service your car, so you just buy a new one every 3 years.
Can you look at Dean Stevenson's Google ad?
Dean Stevenson says, Google ad with a bowl cut hairdo lady from Kel and Kim. I'd heard of Google ads and what this would be right for me, but I was wrong wrong on.
I was trying to.
Wronger than a wrong un?
I thought you would be able to decipher that.
I don't know.
Tommy Hanlon.
You get 2 points. That's a lot of typing. I guess Tommy
Hanlon, and your alternator puts out the same amount of power, whether it's feeding LED or incandescent bulbs. It's expensive BS in a closed system. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the looks of the LEDs, but the new systems, they got to keep that battery charged because everything's electric. Power steering's electric. Everything's electric. So, yeah, maybe I hadn't even thought about that till now. Maybe they're looking to conserve some draw on the battery.
Nah, they're putting out those stupid.
I mean, that's why they might be using LEDs.
150 watt amp. Nah.
You don't think so?
You know what though? LEDs can be more like they'll hold up better in a bouncy car with all like changing weather. Regular light bulbs burn out all the time. LED bulbs last a while.
But Garfon says
I don't know.
The old glass headlights don't turn yellow and hazy like new plastic junk. Hey, I did a video about more than a year ago now on how to fix that pretty cheaply, and it works really well. And I sand them up like with 600 sandpaper. wet, then get them good and dry, which of course then they look like crap, tape them off, and then shoot them with clear, like with the, my favorite paint is the Duplicolor Clear. Shoot that on there. When I do that, they're good for 10 years. The ones I did on my van, they yellowed right away. And then when I shot them with that clear, they lasted 10 years and they looked really good. So I don't know. I got a friend that polishes headlights about every 6 months. He's out there for hours polishing on them, and I go, just shoot them with clear paint. They'll work great. But he doesn't like that. He likes them polished. So I don't know.
Stray
It's a lot
Bullet
of work.
says the factory doesn't make any money from labor, Kim. No, but if it costs you $500 to replace a headlight, I'm almost sure they can prove that you're more likely to trade your car in if you're
Yeah.
a new car kind of buyer than a couple of hits like that, and you're like, I'm just buying a new car. I'm not doing this. If it costs $6,000 for a replacement transmission, you're trading the car in. You're not. You're not. You're not. And you're trading the car in, and you're getting nothing for it. So you're giving them the car back and buying another one, or you're getting a lease. You're buying on a lease. And I mean, it's just like there's so many. They want you to wrap you into a payment. They want you to always be buying a new car. That's how a factory makes good money, is to always be selling new vehicles every couple years, right? Steady supply of new vehicle customers, not people fixing things.
Well, those LEDs that we put in the Valiant, 72 Valiant, and the incandescent lights just, they work. But man, the LEDs, cleaned out everything, put new lenses where we get new lenses where we could get them, put LEDs in them. Man, they are so crisp and they bright, and it's just like, wow. I go down the road, it kind of looks like a new car. I'm not going to have somebody rear end me and say, well, brake lights didn't work or couldn't see them or some nonsense like that. They're bright. I kind of like it.
Stray Bullet says they don't care. Well, in some way they do care. They really care about things surviving warranty.
I can get through the warranty.
Because if it doesn't survive the warranty, then they have to. But usually they've negotiated with the dealers that the dealers do the work for like half price. So, but still, it cuts into their bottom line. So they wanted to make it through warranty. Yeah, they don't care. Patrick Sullivan likes the replacement LED bulbs for the conventional sockets.
That's what I used on the
Valiant.
Valiant.
They're pretty cool.
That's what I used on the Valiant.
They're pretty cool. We ran into a couple problems, like a conventional flasher doesn't work because the LEDs don't draw enough current. So you have to make a flasher modification, which is not too big of a deal. And then they don't dim, so you can't use them in your dash with the conventional dimmer system. So that's kind of a hassle, but I mean, when you can use them, they're pretty great.
Jay says he bought a new car, but I personally believe that new cars are junk. I have 4 vehicles in the fleet right now, and the newest one is a 2011 Honda Odyssey Touring Elite. That's the one you want to take the no-name nationals and race it in that van class, which is, I don't know if that's really a class. It's just a bunch of guys that are going to race their vans against each other. You probably win that thing. And his oldest is a 52 Chevy 1-ton truck. Yeah, which starts up real nice in the winter. I've seen you do that in your channel. Goes in there and it's like, it's running. Doesn't crank real fast, but man, it fires right up. Andrew Button, it depends on the car. On my old Challenger, headlights are so far under the hood they don't light up as well as the Duster or van or something. Old Challenger, that sounds like a new Challenger where the hood rolls over the top of the headlight slightly. Of course, I don't know. You might have had it for a while, so it might seem old. Perpetual Debt Tommy Hanlon. Yep. They don't want you to pay cash for the car.
It runs really deep, Tommy Hanlon. Like that. That's the whole the municipalities with the taxation that they borrow against future taxation.
Ugh.
They spend money that you haven't even paid yet.
Dean Stevenson says, but your Honda Odyssey is faster than a 1972 HO 351 Mach 1 Mustang. Yeah, I'd like to see Jay bring that
She's a fast one.
bring that Honda Odyssey to the No Name Nationals.
Really?
Well, he talked about it, and I thought, that'd be kind of fun.
That would be fun.
Well, and he's got a pretty good run. It'd be a long drive, so it might be a nice car to drive down there.
It wouldn't be too bad.
Where it's like, I want to take the 2006 EXL, but I'm not sure if I'll have it by then. I might take my Prius. That'd be interesting. What's an EXL? What's a 06 EXL? What's an EXL?
What is
Kim's over here fixing the chair.
Butt's falling through the chair.
Your butt's falling through the chair.
Yeah.
Which is Patrick Sullivan says 1972 tells me all I need to know. I have a 1972 car.
Which one?
The Valiant.
Valiant's a 72.
Yeah, I think it'll be the next one in here for a major job. Buddy Carafano. A lot of old cars have small round taillights and 6 volts. Hard to see at night. Yep. That is true. I remember all taillights were like that when I was a little kid, and then 12-volt stuff came around in 56, and they got brighter. And Ford had those big taillights, big round taillights, like the first Galaxies. Man, those things, you could see those things. Patrick Sullivan, Smog Detune. Danny Boyd, any HO Mustang is cooler than any Honda Odyssey. Yeah, but he's got a Honda Odyssey. I think it'd be fun to go race that against a bunch of fans in No Name Nationals. I just think it'd be kind of cool.
He would really enjoy.
I'm not sure if I'll have the 2006 EXL, though, because I want to sell it, buy a classic car to do long-term review on. Well, that'd be cool. Dean Stevenson, 275 horsepower net, 9 horsepower more than the killer Cobra Jet 351. Danny Boyd, I insert my HO with a GT40, except the cam. Looks like Honda Odyssey EXL. It's not the touring model. Oh, that's the EXL, is the Honda Odyssey. Well, what's the 2011 you have? Oh, that's a Prius. That's probably the Prius.
Why is that fighting me? Darn it.
Tim said I had a 72 car.
Let's go in there.
Dean Stevenson, Niet is speaking Russian. 72 HO R code 351C. Andrew Budd, 6-volt with small glass lenses from my time. People would hit you now with that. Man, I remember the glass lenses, like Studebakers, well into the 50s. Glass lenses. Okay, no, my Prius is an 09 model, 2nd gen, with 250,000 miles.
Why is that beeping?
I don't know why it beeps. It does that sometimes.
Oh.
It's telling us something. I don't know what it's trying to tell us. 110 horsepower for you, but don't let. Let's see. 110 for you, but don't let that for you. I can get that thing going pretty quick, faster than normal, 0 to 60 time. Yeah, because you got an electric motor and a gas engine working. Boosted Boys Honda Odyssey. Here's one which will outrun most of us. Dean says my workmate only did 29 U.S. miles per gallon in his Prius. It's hilly in your town. Man, I had a Prius when I was up in Oregon last time I flew in there. I drove that thing around for 2 weeks, not very far, but did drive it around a little bit every day. Then I drove it back into Washington to where the airport was. And, you know, it's a rental car. I got to fill it up. It took like 3 gallons of gas. I'm like, what? It was still on full. The gauge was still on full. And it took 3 gallons of gas, and I turned it in. I thought it was amazing. But I wasn't driving it that much. It's pretty bad considering I get 40 miles per gallon at 75 miles an hour. Car is unbelievable. The only people that hate Prius people never drove it. Yeah, the Prius, you know, Toyota's been doing that for a long time. I mean, they ought to have it right by now. When was the first Prius? Early 2000s, something like that. They've been doing it for a long time. I'd much rather see that than an all-electric car. I mean, they're kind of complex, but Toyota's got it down well. It works. Kia.
Corolla, I hardly knew her.
New cars are all right. I mean, they're nice cars to drive, but I was really getting used to driving this Mercury for, I don't know, about a week until that window broke. But uh, I was liking it. I was enjoying that thing.
You know, there's work to be done on your car.
I know. Right now, I'm a little concerned with money because if we buy that car, that's a big chunk of change, and we got to go get it. And then if we buy a window, we got to find somebody that'll pull a window out that doesn't scrape the shit out of it and ruin it, which is kind of what we suspect happened to the other window. Is somebody got really rough with it, had some big gouges in it, and Kim thinks maybe it just broke because of the gouges in it. I don't know. You know, they are kind of, they're not fun to get in and out of there. And somebody that doesn't know what they're doing could really gouge one up trying to force it in and out without, using some finesse. But a car on a Prius might get good gas mileage. They're ugly. Yeah, they are different. They are weird. I got in and this thing's weird. It had a back window that was like flat, and then it had a back window that was like a fastback, like 2 different windows with a divider. And it's right where I'd look. The divider was right through the rearview mirror, which is kind of weird. And then the shifter was like this little ball that moved back and forth and up and down, and it did something weird. And what I don't like about the Prius is the instruments are over in the middle, and you got this big flat thing in front of you. I just really didn't like that a lot. But after driving a Prius for 2 or 3 days, I got used to the shifter. I got used to where things were, and it just became normal. And so I was driving around. But that's, company rented me a car, and that's what I got. In fact, I said to the guy, when I rented it, I said, what kind of car you got for me? He goes, it's a Prius. And I said, what else do you have? And he goes, that's all we have. That's what you get. I said, there's no other cars here available? He goes, nope. I said, okay. So I took it. Well, I'm glad I did, actually, because I got to live with it for a few weeks. It was pretty good. Yeah, Adam Carolla. Prius might get good guess what they are. Okay. Gouges. A score. Yeah, that's what that is. Gouges. A score. It was a big yick across it. And that could have been why that window shattered. I mean, Kim might be right about that because the mechanism works really well. Well, that's something we can do, Kim, is take that mechanism out because there's still some little glass chips in it. Bent roof. glass tailgate. Yeah, it was a weird. The whole back of that. Well, a Prius is a weird car. I mean, it's a weird car. So when you get in it, you know it. But it's not especially bad, I guess. What I like about the Prius is it's been around for so long that they've they've got the system down well. You get a new Prius, it just works. Oh, says I like the station wagon versions. They were making well enough for what they are. They look normal now. Danny Boyd, it's my skull. I'm so wasted. What are you drinking, Dan? Tony's concept car, the Freedom car, sounds wacky at first, but you know what I don't like about his Freedom car? He says make the dashboard so it's in pieces so you can get it out and you get to the heater core. I'm like, what? Why not just make it like the old cars where the heater cord went through the firewall from the engine side? You take off 3 or 4 screws and you just pull the heater core out. You don't have to go into the dash. I mean, that's what they used to do. Hey, we have no fear. You know why? Kim?
Dougster's here.
The Dougsters. The Dougsters here. That's right.
Potato.
We got commercials in 5 seconds.
Ad break.
Yeah, an ad break. For those of you that don't get the ad, you can hear me. The Prius is like the template for the Aztec. And the Aztec, wasn't that was just, it was just so out of proportion. The little tiny wheels and the back end got big and the whole thing was just, oh my God. From what I understand, that was the first GM car that they didn't build a clay model and roll it outside and stand back and look at it. It was all done in CAD, and it was probably deceptive. And I don't know, it was pretty bad. And then the other one, the Buick, the Rendezvous, which I had a friend that worked for Honda. He was a designer for Honda. He called it the Rendezvous. Oh yeah, the Rendezvous. He says, yeah, it's pretty ugly. But then I had a friend, very good friend of mine, had a Buick Rendezvous, and he liked the car, but he liked it from the driver's seat. It was a good car, and he drove it around, and he had it in Massachusetts for many years, but rust became a problem, and he couldn't even get it fixed. Then it was too far gone, so he had to get another car. Dougster says Danster and Patrick. Danster. Danny Boyd. Gin. Yeah, gin could be good. I can't drink it anymore. The Aztec was made for those who like weird. Yeah, and to me, and then the Rendezvous, the Rendezvous, that thing was like Buick took what they got, what was an Aztec, and tried to make the front look like the Buick and make the back look a little more like a Buick, and it was still all out of proportion. It just looked so weird. But then, like I said, my friend had one. He liked driving it. So I don't know. They're talking about sandwiches. I like sandwiches. I like sandwiches too, but can't eat the bread anywhere near that much bread anymore. Oh, Cuban sandwiches. Man, that place we stopped in, I did the video on her. Kim did it. When we went to get this car, we stopped at the place called the Bait Shop in exit 165 in Arkansas, and they have the best Cuban sandwich anywhere I've ever been. This little bait shop grill they have out in the middle of nowhere in Arkansas. Best Cuban sandwich you'll ever eat. Stray Bullet, redefining metalworking. Stray Bullet says, I'm waiting for that next ad because I really want that mini bike. Danny boy, the only cool GM product with a tent was the 73 and 4 X bodies. They had a tent. I know the Aztec had they had a whole camping outfit out the back of that thing. Stray bullet, O'Reilly, yeah, 2 points. Dougster, yeah, rendezvous, yeah, but I had a friend. See, you came in right after I told that story, Dougster. There was a friend of mine that worked for Honda. He was a car designer for Honda, and they made fun of those things, the Aztecs and the rendezvous. So they called it a rendezvous. So that's what the Honda designers were calling that thing, a rendezvous. They just were giving it a hard time. Dean Stevenson, Holden Toronto, Hutch, 60 in 76 through 78 had an X car tent copy. Ah, I remember the first Torontos I saw. I thought were pretty good. The one I really liked though was there were a couple of those Australian Holdens that I really liked. What was the big four door called? Big four door. It looked like a Impala on steroids. Really nice looking car in the probably 70s, early 80s. Straight bullet. We don't have Cubans here. Lots of Mexicans though. Oh, I talked about Cuban sandwiches. I know a bunch of Cubans. I knew Cubans that when I was a kid, they families escaped from Cuba and came over on some little boat and ended up landing in Florida. Yeah, made a good life for themselves there. What is this, Dean? Oh, 70, Tim says, that pic looked funny. Barbecue bait. Don't whiz on the electric fence. Took him 7 lines to say that. Kevin, you okay? What's wrong? You're running out of energy?
Yeah, struggling.
You're struggling.
I was trying to get warm.
No, not the Caprice, but it looked like that. Holden Statesman Caprice. No, Holden. What was that big Holden called? Hatchback Novas were kind of cool. Dean Stevens says open shop 209 would add another door to his Nova sedan. Kim's running out of gas.
Dean's doing silly stuff.
I know this big old don't whiz on the electric fence. 7 lines to do that. Commodore, that's it.
2 points. Good job.
I figured somebody from down under would figure that out, and it took Olive to figure it out. Yeah, the Commodore, that big four-door, boxy-looking thing, I thought that was that was a nice-looking car, that Holden Commodore. I wonder what they were really like. I wonder what they're like to drive, other than being on the wrong side of the damn road and the wrong side of the car. I guess I could get used to that. I was trying to be polite. Because
you're fine, Dean.
I sort of got used to driving on the wrong side of the road, on the wrong side of the car when I was in England, but I still had to think. You know, what I was always kind of afraid of is that something had happened and to avoid it, I'd turn to the right. And you just can't do that. Go into the oncoming lane. Yeah, there were just some things different. I had to think a little bit when I was driving in England, but I guess it wasn't that hard. All Cubans, I'll ask what their last car in Cuba. I get answers like 49 Caddy, 55 Chevy, 59 Imperial. The Imperial surprised me.
Says Dougster.
What I think's funny is when I see a 55 Chevy with a Russian tractor engine in it. They kept it running. You know,
That's why she has all the points. I think so, Dean.
Dean says the Commodore handles great. Front and suspension bushes and shockies. Is that what they call them? The shock absorbers. They call them shockies. It's like a carby. Call them a carby down under. They're in good shape. Well, I guess it's like anything else when it's new or when it's worn out. This car needs a front end rebuilt on it. We've got some of the parts, but there's a couple of other things we've got to get. But
Oh, there you go. We have to figure out what's wrong with it.
well,
It probably needs ball joints, maybe tie rod end stuff.
yeah.
It's only
Well,
got 100,000 miles on it. It's hard
okay.
to-
We've got the struts. We've got the bushings for the top. I figure I'll just buy the ball joints and the tie rod ends and put them on. I mean, if we're gonna have it
replace
all,
the ones that are bad.
we're gonna have it all apart. Dizzy. Did Dizzy show up? I don't see Dizzy. What's this? Dean Stevens. It's probably the best handling rear drive GM car, except the Corvette. They have Corvettes down under? Right hand drive? Oh, I bet they didn't. We were building airplanes, a lot of airplanes a lot of our airplanes went to New Zealand. And there was a guy down there that bought one of them, and he was a guy that converted cars to right hand drive. That was his business. Three-quarters of my vehicles have a distributor. Danny boy. Dean Stevens, we had a Commodore. It's got a door from a Commodore. Okay, Kim, you want to hang it up? You look like you're whooped.
I am, guys. I was crawling around on that Bronco too, and it kicked my butt. 3 days in a row trying to get that motor in. I had great success. Motor is in. It is not running yet. It's going to be a while, but the hard parts are bolted together in place. No more engine hoist. Now it's just nuts and bolts and wires. Maybe some fuel lines. So thanks everybody for hanging out for a little while. We have been here for more than 2 hours.
2 hours and 15 minutes.
So that's solid. We didn't have to finish that early, but we're not going to be able to go late, and we haven't got even started on any kind of work. And we still need to do a short, so he has one for first thing in the morning, maybe.
I have a short.
He has one. Okay. So.
And you'll all like it.
But yeah, I'm going to go back to the house. I'm probably going to fall asleep. It's not even that late.
I can tell when you've had it. You're going to go sleep.
You guys have been great. Get some extra rest.
I'll sleepy too.
There you go. Get some extra rest tonight, or enjoy something. Catch up on some of your other viewing, and we will be back. What year are we doing on Tuesday?
Is Buddy still here?
I'll bet you Buddy Carpano knows. If you're still here, you get an extra point for being here till the end.
I think it's 77. Was it 77?
I don't know. We'll be in the studio on Tuesday night. Be sure to stop in on Tuesday night and check us out. And I don't know. We might be in one more time.
58. That's right. It's 58. 1958.
So if you got some pictures or something you want to talk about from 1958, send it to buffdelcampo@gmail.com, or have it ready and you can email it on Tuesday night.
Yep, that'll be Tuesday night.
Okay, so, and we might even be in on tomorrow night for a little while, or Monday night for a little while. Sometimes we do that, but
yeah, don't know.
Who knows?
Okay.
Be good. Until
good night,
then,
everybody.
We'll see you soon.